Joining me now is Masai Ujiri, President and General Manager of the Toronto Raptors. Masai, it's lovely to see you. The last time we met, we were in Africa. I believe we were in Addis Ababa, and you were talking so passionately about the giants of Africa and the work that you're doing on the continent. I want to ask you, how is it going? How has it been impacted by the pandemic?
Hi, Zain. Thanks for having me. This is fun seeing you so far away. We were so close in Addis. You know, this is it's been a challenge. It's been a challenge for I think every one of us, and same goes for the work we do. Same goes for our foundation, but we found a way, you know, to just like everybody else, to communicate with the youth of Africa and our followers with Giants of Africa. I wasn't able, and we were not able to go and do our camps physically this year, but I thought a good way to impact was, one, almost do what everybody's doing, which is virtual contact with everybody and make sure we stay communicated. But also, Zain, I haven't said this everywhere, but we're taking this time to really build infrastructure. So some of the resources we had that we put into camps and basketball skills with these kids, we wanted to build during COVID. So hopefully we're unveiling something good when this is done.
And you were so happy at the number of girls in the basketball camp as well on the continent, and because women and girls have been so badly impacted, especially on our continent during this pandemic, how do you kind of see that gender recovery? It's something that I know you've prioritized. I know you care about it very much. And from your perspective, we'd love to know how you see the recovery when it comes to sport and young women on the continent.
I think we'll get back, Zain, and for young girls, I know it's always been a challenge with them. That's why we have brought them into our sport and paid particular attention and being intentional in doing the same thing we do with boys, we want to do with girls, and it's impacted so much because this brings camaraderie, this brings confidence, this brings I think them being even more vocal on what their ambitions are, their passions are, and what they want to do. So the programs we've really aligned with not only the Giants of Africa girls, but even in places like the Samburu Girls Foundation. Is such a joy for us to go fight their fight of mutilation, early marriages, all the things that young women are fighting on the continent.
One of the things that you pushed really hard for on the continent is to bring the NBA to Africa, and we're so excited and applaud you and thank you for all of your efforts. Why was it so important for you to bring the NBA to Africa?
You know, Zain, we see sports in the Western world in an incredible entrepreneurial way. You know, it's so much bigger, and there's so much to it. And now in Africa, we have to figure that out too. I look at the Raptors or the NBA and revenue generating talent, marketing, advertising, job opportunities, employment, all kinds of things that you look at that sports brings to us. We haven't tapped on that on the continent, and the NBA, through Adam Silver, through Amadou Gallo Fall, through Mark Tatum, through all the people that have worked so hard, through even President Kagame building an arena. Infrastructure is so big for us on the continent. We want to develop the game, where it brings opportunity for people, and they see it bigger than just something to do for leisure and fun, because we do have the talent.
What about the talent in the women's space, for example? How about plans for a women's NBA league in Africa? Have you thought about that?
You know, we think about it every day, and I think it's gradual. This is a great start for us with the men's league, and I know it's in all our minds that there is an opportunity with the talent on the continent, with all the tall ladies, athletic, speed, fast, smart. We think about it too, Zain, honestly, as not only the opportunity for people that play sports, but the opportunity that for people that are going to work in sports. We take that for granted. There's sports educationists, sports journalists, sports
right.
but there's everything, you know, sports psychologists, sports doctors, everything that you can think of. So we can find a niche and a way in what we want to do. And I think there's a huge opportunity for women here. But the league is on our mind. We start gradually. I think we'll get there.
Well, let's talk about sports and politics then. Okay, Masai, I mean, you know, these last few years, the sports arena has become really a field to take some kind of a political stand, a stand on social issues of our day, or to take a knee and address racism and political issues that are at stake. What is your view on athletes advocating for social issues like that? Your view on what the NBA is doing?
Oh, I think we have an incredible platform to be a voice out there, not only for the youth, but for people who are not even opportune to have that same voice or to speak. With what's going on around the world, I think there's something special about sports that brings people together. It even takes me back to the day when I think Drogba knelt down, you know, like in the World Cup, and called for peace, you know, in his country. It's gone back to days from athletes have really spoken. We see Kaepernick, we see LeBron James, all these guys, you know, talking their minds and truth, and it comes down to humanity and who we are as people. I think sport has a way of bringing us closer. It makes us happy, and I think it's a way to interact. And I think these athletes are powerful because they mean well, you know, and they can represent a good number of people in the world. It is important that we speak from our hearts and are good people.
Do you think that taking the knee, taking a stand on these kinds of issues is an American thing? Do you think that athletes in Africa, for example, would do more of that kind of stuff and take a political stand on the local relevant social issues of our day on the continent?
As we continue to advance in that space, Zain, it will get even more for the African athletes. We see, as I said, guys like Drogba. We see what Dikembe Mutombo is doing. There's so many I know that want to have this voice, Lual Deng, that speak, Jakim Noah, that they really, I think, talk on issues that are important, because we do have a platform there to really perform.
And what about Nairobi? When are you going to visit Nairobi, my hometown?
You know, that's my hometown too, with my mom. You know, like it's so special to me. So I can't wait. September, I can't wait to get back on the continent, doing quite a few countries in September. It's going to be fun to get back to normal.